It's another weekly rundown coming at you from VegasOdds.com. It's Matt Brown here to guide you through this week's headlines. It is a time of kind of young talent to emerge, right? Even in baseball. And you know what? Let's head to Arizona in the MLB, even in mid-August, as one of the worst teams in the major leagues, to find out more in terms of young talent rising to the top here. It was the 8th no-hitter in the major leagues this year here in 2021, and it came in the form of a 27-year-old rookie, Tyler Gilbert, in only his 4th overall appearance at the major league level. He became just the 4th pitcher in major league history to throw a no-hitter in his first ever start after 3 short relief appearances earlier in the year. As last place teams usually do around mid-August, they'll give that starting nod to the rookie. What an incredible moment in time for Gilbert and his family. Other than last place, let's look at first place, right? We've been over the teams that are in contention for the World Series title this year, and even that playoff race in the multiple divisions across the MLB that are really getting tight. But what about the individual races? What about the MVP race? How about the American League? And you can't really look any further than Shohei Ohtani. Just the way he's been able to play both sides of the field. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's been able to pitch sub-4 ERA throughout the year, get wins for his team with not only his arm, but the bat, as he is one of the best, if not the best hitter in the American League. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is considered as a close second, and that kind of is a testament to how good he's been this year himself for the Blue Jays, as he is considered maybe in contention for that AL MVP if you don't want Shohei Ohtani up there. Now for the Cy Young Award, it's hard to go wrong with either the White Sox 1-2 punch at the top of their rotation. I mean, you got Lance Lynn and Carlos Rodon. One of them has already thrown a no-hitter this year, while the Yankees' Garrett Cole has lived up to expectations in New York and still can be seen as a great option on that ballot. To the National League, that MVP race is as wide open as ever. I mean, you do have Fernando Tatis Jr. at the top, but he's now missed around 30 games this season due to injury, and that usually isn't something you look for in an MVP, right? But that's kind of the reason why this MVP race in the National League is so wide open. It's injuries. Maybe you give it to another position player this year, or maybe it's one of those years that a pitcher will win both the MVP and Cy Young award in one of the leagues, and I'd say that right now is Philadelphia's Zach Wheeler, who's been a huge part of the Phillies' success in the back half of the season. I know the biggest name before July was Jacob deGrom, right, on the mound, but he hasn't played since the first week of that month because of an arm injury. Maybe someone will emerge as teams race for playoff positioning, so go to VegasOdds.com to keep up with all that's going on in the world of baseball. On to football and week 1 of the preseason in the NFL, and it had us all getting that football fever back. We got a taste of what's to come in this 2021 season. Mainly, everyone's wondering about those rookie quarterbacks. The number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, kind of brought those expectations in Jacksonville down to earth a little bit with a shaky performance, even fumbling on his first snap. And the New York Jets, Zach Wilson, was a little more steady, but didn't wow anyone with off-balance throws. And Trey Lance of the 49ers was also up and down, reminding us all that preseason football is just that. Preseason. No matter how much stock you want to put in it, there's no way you can make an accurate comparison to what you're seeing now and what we'll see come week 1 of the actual regular season in the National Football League. Take everything with a grain of salt and we'll go from there. We'll go from American football to European football, or soccer, as the excitement surrounding the summer transfer window is here. It's tough to ignore Lionel Messi going to Paris Saint-Germain, or PSG, and that's kind of old news now since it was one of the first transfers when they opened up, but Also, that story has sort of shifted to the team that let him go in FC Barcelona. Millions and even billions in reported debt. The club has not only given away one of the greatest players ever in a free transfer, but has had to ask its remaining ones to take pay cuts. Gerard Piqué graciously took one, and his fellow captains were said to be willing to do the same, but as it is, this report has been embarrassing for Barca, right? Whose players had to play through adversity and ended up beating Real Sociedad 4-2 in their first game against Messi. So we'll see how they will fare the rest of the season. Back to Messi's current team. Remember, this is a club that already has Kylian Mbappe and Neymar Jr. So you could say that this is already a super team. Now, of course, we'll see what happens when the transfer window is over if one of those players moves elsewhere. But as of right now, 3 superstars, you could say, on PSG. And you know what? I hear a little rumor that another superstar could be coming PSG's way. You may have heard of him. I think his name is Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know if you've heard of him. Well, will it actually happen? Maybe you'll have to go to VegasOdds.com on the daily to stay up to date with that and to see if Ronaldo actually gets transferred to PSG, making it maybe one of the greatest teams of all time. That's it for me here on VegasOdds.com on the weekly rundown. You can always go to VegasOdds.com for all the latest sports news and betting updates. I'm Matt Brown, and we'll see you next time.